Can I retire with $2 million and still do Roth conversions in retirement? That's what we're going to talk about today. I have a 55-year-old and a 51-year-old married couple, and they're asking the question, can we retire and can we do Roth conversions after we retire? Remember, a Roth contribution is putting earned income, money that you get from working, into a Roth IRA. A Roth conversion is taking pre-tax money, maybe 401k, IRA, TSP, 403b, taking portions of that money and moving it into a Roth IRA and paying taxes on that money in the year that you move it from pre-tax to post-tax, or paying taxes in the year that you do the conversion. That's what I want to look at today. Does it make sense to do Roth conversions in retirement? And asking the question, can I retire and do the Roth conversion? So let's take a quick look at this and kind of give you a more detailed look at what we do here at your financial EKG and Pearl Wealth Group. So we've got a 55-year-old male. His name is Neil. We have a 51-year-old female named Carrie. Neil and Carrie live in Arizona, so they're enjoying the winter right now. In retirement assets, they've got $1.2 million, almost $1.3 million in retirement assets. TSP, they've got a retirement annuity, they've got some Roth IRAs, $1.3 million. In non-retirement accounts, brokerage account, some stock, individual accounts, they have $812,000. Now, what I want to focus on, and we're going to get into the software and I want to show you, what I want to focus on is Neil has $807,000 in his thrift savings plan through the federal government. Now, Neil is retiring now at 55. And so we've got $1.3 million in retirement assets, of which 807 are still pre-tax. The rest is, for the most part, Roth IRA. So my goal for Neil is to get this $807,000 into his Roth IRA, pay the least amount of taxes on it while we're doing that, and grow his tax-free retirement account as much as possible between now and when he gets to 72, because that's when he would be required to start taking a required minimum distribution, which the government says once you reach the age 72, you have to take out a percentage of your IRA, pay us the taxes on it, and then take that distribution and do whatever you want with it. So I want to look at taking $807,000, do about 10% of a conversion a year off of that. So roughly $81,000 first to start out with, and see, can we retire? Can we do Roth conversions? What are the taxes going to be like now? And what are the taxes going to be like in the future? So hold on. Here we go. All right, so here's what I want to show you. I've got Neil, he's 55 years old. I have Carrie, she's 51 years old, and they're asking the question, can we retire with $2 million and can we do Roth conversions to get as much as our pre-tax money, the money that we're going to have to pay taxes on in retirement? Can we convert as much of that to Roth as possible and keep our taxes low? So let's go through this. So again, we've got Neil and we've got Carrie. Neil's 55, Carrie's 51. With Social Security, they both plan on taking Social Security at 62. Neil's benefit would be $2,000 a month. Carrie's would be $1,200 a month. Now, Neil does have a military pension. He did serve in our armed services. His military pension is $2,500 a month with a 3% COLA increase. That's just an estimation that we're using based on past COLA increases. And Neil at 62, now remember he's 55, but at 62 he'll have a government pension of $1,000 a month with, again, a 3% COLA increase. Now, here's where I want to kind of get a little bit technical with you, okay? In assets, we just talked about this on the board. I really want to focus on this top line here, this $807,000 that we've got in his thrift thrift savings plan, okay? Because that bulk of money right now is a ticking tax time bomb. If he were to cash that out today, that's like a 40% tax on $800,000. Now, obviously, he wouldn't do that. That would be silly. That would be stupid. We're not going to do that. But we want to try to get as much of that tax-free as possible because I believe in the future. Now, maybe not in the next 1 to 2 years, maybe not in the next 5 to 7 years, but the next 10, 15, 20 years of their retirement, taxes are going to be higher because we've got so much to pay for. We've got so many baby boomers retiring. We've got a national debt that is out of control. And so we've got all this stuff that we have to pay for, and taxes are surely going to go up. So we've got this $807,000 TSP that I really, really, really want to focus on. Now let's go to their taxes for a minute. Let me show you the year 2022, their taxes currently, okay? Based on their income, they're in the 22% bracket, okay? So they're in the 22% bracket come the year 2022, their first year in retirement. So if we go to their expenses, and this is where we get to see the Roth conversions in action. His current monthly expenses are right at $1,050, so $1,050 are his monthly expenses. These are fantastic monthly expenses. I'm not sure how he keeps them this low, but he does. He must not have cable TV or anything like that. Neil, I don't know what you do to keep your expenses low, but please teach us all, because with 3 kids, a wife, and 2 dogs, mine are not that low. Just dog food alone is getting expensive. So let's look at the Roth conversions here. So remember what I talked about. I wanted to do $81,000 a year, basically 10% a year. So $81,000 is the start, and we're going to start this in January of 2022, and we're going to do this for life. So we're going to do this for life for as long as it takes to drain the TSP. Now, he's 55 years old. We've got until 72, so almost 20 years, really, right? So 20 minus 3, so we've got about 17 years to do this conversion. And if you look at this, we're going to take 10%, or I just put it at $81,000. We're going to take $81,000 a year starting in January. We're going to do this annually out of his TSP, and we're going to put it into his Roth IRA. Now, the cool thing is you can kind of scroll down here and you can see when it's going to run out. He literally would do his last conversion in the year 2031, okay? So it's the year 2022 going to 2031. That's about 9 years. And so his last conversion will be $7,491. That's what will be left in the TSP at that time. Now, we're going to grow the money that's still in the TSP at 4% a year. That's kind of the assumption, the rate of return. And the reason we're going to do that is because even though we're doing the conversion, the money is staying in the market. It's still earning something in the market. So it's going to be earning 4% a year, and we're doing a conversion of right about 10%. So it's a net 6% loss, not capital loss. It's a 6% decrease in the value of that TSP because we're removing 10% and we're assuming 4%. So it takes about 9 years to get that TSP to zero. But what's cool about this is, let me show you something. Let's go back to taxes, because everybody goes, oh my gosh, he's going to get annihilated in taxes. Well, in the year 2022, remember I said he's in the 22% bracket? Let's come over here. He's got $30,000 in pensions. He's got $346 in 1099 interest, and we've got $81,000 right there. That's our taxable withdrawal. That's our conversion. So his gross income is $111,496. Now, I just assumed a standard deduction of $25,100. That's the standard deduction today. So his taxable income is $86,396. So remember, we have a progressive tax code. So his base is $81,051. Base tax is $9,328. His over base tax is $5,345, and his over the base tax is $1,176, which means in federal taxes, he's going to pay $10,504. So his federal tax bracket up here, $111,000, is in the 22% tax bracket. But after deductions and after going through the tax code, his actual projected federal tax rate is only 9.42. 9.42, single digits. So you've got to think about this. When you're doing Roth conversions, don't just assume you're going to pay 22% of whatever your conversion is. That's $16,000 in this case. That's not the case. He's only going to pay 9% in taxes. So the question becomes, does it make sense to pay 9% now, or in the future take a withdrawal at a higher tax rate? Even if it's 12 or 15%, which is still low, it's actually better to do the conversion and get a 9% rate now. So let's skip. Let's go 10 years, okay? So now let's go to the year 2033, because remember, we're out of the conversions, right? We've done all of our conversions. Now look where he's at. He's in the 12% tax bracket based on taxable Social Security, his pension, 1099 interest, and he's in the 8% federal tax rate. So we've actually lowered his tax rate another 1%. And let's go back to retirement here. Let me show you something. Let's go to 80 years old. So 80 and 76. So Neil's 80, Carrie's 76. They've got $6.9 million in assets. God bless compound interest. But if you look at that top line, that Roth IRA number right there, $2.7 million. Remember where we started. His Roth IRA was at $400,000. He had $800,000 in TSP. That's $1.2 million. But by the time he's 80, we've got $2.7 million in tax-free retirement income, retirement assets. The government can't take that away. Isn't that wonderful? That is why it's so important to do a deep dive in your retirement plan, because you don't want just some, hey, I'm going to take money out every month and I'm just going to use this and I'm going to live my retirement. No, you want a tactical, carefully planned, carefully designed retirement asset and retirement income plan. Neil and Carrie did, and that is why they're going to be able to do conversions, which they might not have thought of before, and have a lot more tax-free income and tax-free assets to pass on to their kids, to their grandkids, and also to enjoy themselves. And listen, if you want something done like this for you, go to my website, yourfinancialekg.com, fill out your information on the very front page of the website, download my free booklet, The Roadmap to Retirement, say, yes, I want to visit with Drew, and let's put together your tax-free retirement strategy today, okay? So I hope you've enjoyed this. Can I retire with $2 million and do Roth conversions? It's always a pleasure to come to you here on YouTube and to show you what's going on right here. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. God bless. Bye-bye.